Welcome to the show, creative people. Freddie and Shetty, designer. Today at our podcast, we have a special guest, very creative person, spacing in his profession from graphics into events, into music, especially music. Most of you from Shenzhen might know him already because of different events and different places he has been managing. He's always around. You might know him, and welcome to Edo today in our studio.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks for coming. I know it's very difficult to get hold on you here in Shenzhen. You have a lot of different projects that takes you around, not only China. Now I would say mostly China, because I guess you're
Definitely, yeah.
stuck here for a while. I know you have been in Thailand for a while during the lockdown in your recording studio.
I was stuck in there, in Thailand for 8 months.
We will.
Well, did you go there just for like a trip, and then
Well, actually, I go.
Or did you run away and then?
Well,
think like fuck, like what an idiot.
in the
Like, I
last
got
5
stuck
years, I'm going to Thailand very often because of different reasons. Mainly because my friend has a studio in there. The guy that is playing with me from Pet Conspiracy, and we do record a lot of stuff when we're in there. And I was in Beijing when the thing started to get weird.
So was that like January?
It was in January 22, 23, and then we started to hear about these things starting to happen, right? And then my idea actually was to go back to Shenzhen very soon, but I decided to stop by in Taipei, Thailand, in Taiwan, to see a friend of mine who was there. And the plan was, you know Ryan, right? And the plan was, staying there for 2-3 days, maximum 1 week, and then going back to Shenzhen. Then we started to hear about all the shit happening in China. So I say, okay, man, we just go to Thailand. We go to Phuket. I used to have an house in there. And we say, okay, we go to my place. We stay there for a while. We wait a couple of weeks, and then we go back to Shenzhen, right? We arrive to Thailand, and they block all the borders. That was how
Right
it
on
happened.
time.
Right.
You mean like the Thai blocked the borders?
Well, actually,
Or
China
like
blocked
China-
the border. Yeah,
Okay.
China blocked the border at that time. And I ended up staying there for 8 months in Phuket because of this, which is not the worst place to stay in a lockdown.
Definitely not.
Right? So, that's the
So
start
did you
of my
manage to record a lot of things? Did you get
I
good
did
use of your time?
record some stuff with my friend, and we did a couple of projects. Actually, we were doing this video project with some artists local artists from Thailand. So we worked with Job to Do, which is a reggae. You know him, right?
very well.
We did something with him, and it was still like quite okay, the situation there. Then the bad thing is that they also lock everything in there for a couple of months, so I couldn't go anywhere anymore. I used to go to the beach like to swim every day
And then you got
at 7 a.m. And then I got it's like in one day they say, okay, close everything, right?
So no restaurants, no bars, no beach, no.
Well, the only thing that was opening was a 7-Eleven, which is still okay, right? I mean, you can get a lot of things in 7-Eleven, right?
Especially in the Taiwan.
And all the bars and the restaurants, they closed. Most important, actually, they closed all the beach. They started to put all these, fences, like closing basically everything. So it was impossible actually to enjoy what is the best thing of Thailand. I mean, come on, it's like you're in Phuket, right? And actually, the very worst thing is that they actually stopped to sell alcohol for almost 2 months. That was actually when I got completely like, okay,
Even
the
at the
situation is very...
Even at the 7-Eleven, I mean, they were not
Absolutely, like you couldn't.
Was that like a decision? They're like, okay, no more alcohol for people, just because to like stop people from like having fun, or was there like an alcohol
I don't really
shortage,
know
or-
the reason, the official reason why they did it. I can guess it's because
People staying at
people
home, they
drink
might
and
get
then start to have
violent
partying and gather together, right? So
right.
it was
Makes
a way
sense.
actually to stop people to gather together and going outside and doing party basically.
Oh, makes sense.
I had actually this friend from South Africa. He said, "Okay, let's make our own beer then." No, the problem is that making it it's a thing, but then you need to wait like 3-4 weeks before it
Right.
started to be drinkable. You know this stuff. So yeah,
It's like a long 3 weeks.
yeah. The thing is that we decided to do it when they say, okay, at the beginning it was like just for 2 weeks, and then they say, no, we're gonna provide this thing for 1 other month, right? At that moment we say, okay, one moment, man, we need to make our own beer, right? So we started to do it. The problem is that we needed to wait. Actually, I tasted like 2 days before they released this restriction, and they say, okay, you can go back to drink your own beer, right?
Right.
I tasted it wasn't that good, honestly. We don't tell him, but it was like
It was the only option.
yeah. Fortunately, after 2-3 days, they opened again the 7-Elevens. They could sell beers and everything, so we just went back to kind of a normal life. And then after 1 month, they opened the beach. They opened like bars and everything. So it wasn't that bad, that lockdown. Plus, again, I go there very often, so it was kind of my home, staying there. Plus, I'm quite lucky that we have a studio in there, so I could do some music. It wasn't that bad, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a lifestyle that you're used to already.
Yeah.
Let me frame things up a bit. Maybe let you have a general introduction, since of course we are friends since many years. I know you very well. You have a band and a very successful music career for which you are well known for, as well as your graphic design agency, together with another friend of ours, Umberto. And also you have been running some very popular places that we miss a lot here in Shenzhen, as Magma and Dolores Park. So what brought you to China? How this all came together?
Well,
Let's try to put
actually-
it in a time frame.
Right. I moved to China in 2008, and I moved because my ex-girlfriend, she used to work for some project for the Italian embassy at the time. She's Italian, so that's really the only reason why I moved in here.
Right.
So she came to China first, or was going to China?
Yeah,
for work?
yeah, she was in here
then
since
dragged
already
you
a
along?
few years. And I moved, and actually I wasn't thinking to stay here for a long time in China. But the things went pretty good for me, because I needed to do some work, right? So I started to work with some galleries, 798. I don't know if you know
Okay,
this.
yeah.
So you moved to Beijing first?
Yeah, Beijing. I stayed 8 years in Beijing, actually. Yeah. And so I got some jobs to do. I quite like, since the very beginning, Beijing. It was a very new thing because I didn't know anything about China. And there was a lot, in 2008, a lot of enthusiasm, maybe brought also because of the Olympics and everything, right?
Yes.
It was like a really a moment that it was really interesting
vibe.
for Beijing. And I was lucky enough to find first like this interesting job for some art galleries, right? I was also helping to curate some exhibition. I was like doing designing the catalogs for some artists, right? And in one of this exhibition opening, I met this guy that is a musician, Uze, and he asked me to join basically his band. They were kind of famous already in 2008.
Chinese guy or foreigner?
Chinese guy, yeah. And it was quite good because after 1 month I was already touring Europe with this Chinese band. I never toured Europe before with the other band that I had in Italy, right? But we started to play. We did the first tour. It was 2009 at the beginning, I think, of 2009. And we were playing the most cool clubs in Europe. Starting from Razzmatazz in Barcelona, right? This kind of interesting
Venues,
clubs
yeah.
and everything. And that was the moment when I started to think about moving for good in China. I say, yeah, things are going
Quite
pretty
well.
well, right? So yeah, that's the main reason why, yeah, I decided to stay in China. Then I continued to play with this band. Actually, I'm still playing with this band
What's
after
the band's name?
Pet Conspiracy.
Pet Conspiracy?
Yeah. We're gonna release a new album actually very soon, after a long time.
So when you joined the band, mostly you were just like, you play what, guitar or what
I'm a
instrument?
guitarist, but they were searching for a drummer.
So you're drumming.
And I said, okay, I can try. I wanted to do something.
Never say no.
And I started to play with the drums with them. And then, well, actually, eventually I started to play bass, sing some song and everything. I was helping actually producing
So
the
you
song.
eventually
With
had some like musical influence into the band itself.
Definitely, yeah. It was kind of oriented to electronic, electro band. I think I brought some punk in there.
Right.
That's just because I couldn't play the drums very well. So it was like, dish, 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 you know. So
Makes sense.
Yeah, right. And we are still playing together after many years. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So with the band, how many albums do you guys produce?
We got, I need to remember actually, 4 albums in total.
Right.
We were very prolific at the very beginning. We got quite famous in Beijing, in China, at that time. And the very first album, it was an EP we recorded in 2008. Then we did another one in 2012, and then we did other EPs and other release like singles, this kind of things. But we stayed like without releasing for a few years, and I think next month we're gonna release finally the new album.
So do you
with
reckon
them.
that it also has to do with the fact that during these past months you had physically a lot of time to like think and
Well, we
and
did
play,
finalize.
coordinate?
We did finalize not really the songs because they were already finished, but we finalized all the other aspect, which is like the post production, which is contacting the labels. You know, trying to get a deal with the labels. We had a lot of time to do that, and in fact, we found the label when we were still in Thailand.
Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, nice. It's very interesting story. Like out of the blue, China
Man,
put
really.
on your path. So
No,
many
it was a big
things that are-
surprise for me because, again, I was completely ignorant about China. I didn't know anything. You know, the only reason I wanted to come in here is to see my girlfriend. That was the only really
next thing
reason.
But
And then I
for
found
example,
out.
back in the days in 2008, when you moved to China, I mean, were you like working, studying? Were you playing music? What was your life?
Well, I
1
was
month
already
before coming
working
to
as a
China.
freelancer, as a graphic designer in Italy at that time. But I was actually pretty free to do whatever I wanted to. I used to have a band in Italy, actually.
Right.
We were very, how to say, convinced to go on with the band at that
Right.
time. We released like already at the time 3 albums.
Wow.
We were touring Italy. We went also to London. You know, we were doing some stuff. It was still like indie band, but we were doing good. Then when I moved, it was just, I don't know, I was just feeling that I needed to change something in my life at that time. Wasn't really happy about a lot of things. We don't go into the details, but
Right.
and again, at the beginning was like going to see my girlfriend and stay like a couple of months and everything, and then I saw that actually Beijing had a lot to offer, and probably because I met a lot of interesting people in there since the very beginning. That was something that it was helping me to decide that I wanted to stay there.
Yeah.
And as I said, both as a graphic designer and as a musician, I was pretty happy about what I was doing at that time. So I stayed there for 8 years.
That's quite a
Beautiful and Beijing, it's like you've been to Beijing before,
I've been.
right?
I never lived, but I've been there a couple of.
Right.
Actually, my first time in China was in Beijing. So
Right.
it's quite.
It can give you really the extreme happiness and the extreme sadness in the same time. That city,
right.
it's really just extreme, you know. It's yeah. After 5-6 years, I met Umbe, that you guys know because
right.
yeah. and we were working together for a company, Chinese company, as graphic designers, right? They are doing communication. They were creating a lot of events for big brands, these kind of things. We were doing graphics for the events and also like branding for new companies. And after 2-3 years we were working in there, we had the opportunity to open a studio here in Shenzhen.
Why Shenzhen?
Well, actually, because the company was interested in working in Shenzhen, because a lot of new startups, companies, the big companies at the time, they were starting to rise in here, was like getting like real, the thing, right? And we decided to move because both me and Umbe, we were kind of, we say, okay, it's enough. I mean, we stay here for many years. It's
must
time
be tough,
to
8
do
years in Beijing. I mean,
yeah.
So was the move difficult for you, or is it kind of like?
Honestly, it wasn't at all. I needed to change at that time. I still love Beijing. It's I consider it my city,
right?
And when I go back, I feel home. But sometimes you can struggle in a kind of weird situation in there. It's not only about the traffic or the smog or these kind of things. It's about being in a huge city, and it's about having a lot of pressure. So we needed both, me and Umbe, to change at that time, and it was the good choice actually. We were pretty happy actually to move in here, because we found a city it's new, so there is still a lot of things that this city can offer.
And they were not there yet, like.
Yeah, there is a lot of room still to improve and to
grow.
This city. But I think that it's super interesting because of that, So you can actually come in here and propose yourself and propose some ideas, and everybody is really reactive to this, right? It's not this is the good thing about Shenzhen. Still missing a lot Beijing, but in the other hand, I was super happy actually to move in here. And we move in here, you know about the story. I mean, we started to work for the studio that we still have, it's the Deus Agency. We have a website, it's called Deus.Agency, you can go to check it out.
Nice. And
at the same time, me and Umbe, we were thinking that this city at that time, it was 2015, when we moved, was kind of need to some underground places.
Right.
And me and Umbe, we were thinking that it was a good thing to just open a bar to give this kind of vibes to the people, and at the same time meeting all the people from Shenzhen, because
you didn't know
we didn't know anyone at that time, right? So this is what we did. We opened Magma. We thought that it was kind of a side project, right? Beside our graphic design project. And in the end, it was like a full-time job because it's quite tiring actually to have a bar.
Since the very beginning, the audience reacted very well. There definitely was something.
I was very happy about it.
Anywhere else, right? And
I was very happy.
It was one of the best places that people love to go.
Also because especially because you are also involved in the music scene. Bringing that layer of underground presence, inviting artists, DJs, people that maybe nowadays you see them even very often, but probably back in the days they were maybe first time they were coming to Shenzhen or something.
It was kind of an experiment for us because we never own a bar, me and Umbe. So it was really okay, we just do this thing without knowing anything about how to manage a bar. And I really never even organized any event before.
Right.
It was other people inviting me actually to play. I never tried it, but I found out that it was super interesting because the fact is that I don't know how to say, it's not really, that's the cool thing of Shenzhen. You don't need to search for people. It's the people that is coming to you. We opened a bar, there was a lot of people say, okay, you got a cool place, can we play in here? Sure, man, it's open to everybody. And then at that, I think it was kind of the way why the bar was kind of successful, because we didn't really write down what we wanted to do.
Script,
It just happened, you know. And we were giving possibility to artists to come, people like painting our walls. We were doing some exhibition with some people who wanted to do an exhibition of their photos and then this thing. And we found out actually that Shenzhen had a lot of interesting people doing a lot of interesting
not
stuff.
only
Right?
a lot of interesting people, probably also it reflects the lack of that underground channel where
man.
to be able to express yourself. It's like if you think about in the retail market here, there is not the nice shop with a lot of different brands. I mean, either you have the mono brand store, or you have the department store.
Exactly.
There is not an in between.
And there was the lack of this scene, underground scene, and you know that it was missing. Again, we didn't open because of that, but that was one of the reasons, because we couldn't find any place that it was really suiting. I mean, satisfying us at that time. Now it's different. Finally, Shenzhen actually is giving more.
Improved a lot
in the last few years, right? At that time, it was like that, and it was just a very amazing experience, I would say. I'm super happy that we did that thing.
Do you miss it?
I fucking miss it, man.
We all miss it,
honestly.
man. We all miss it.
I think the whole
I
city
miss that
misses
place.
it.
I miss actually, especially the Baisejo one, the little Magma we had,
Original one.
because that was meant to be like a place, as I said, open to really everyone who wanted to do something interesting, right? Then after 1 year, we've been kind of forced to close that place.
The whole area was under
because they already renovation and these kind of things. So we had the opportunity to manage this other bar in Sheko, Dolores Park. Yeah. We stayed there for another year, basically trying to continue the same concept and inviting friends just to organize party, and having fun. That was the thing.
Was it the same for you? I mean,
it wasn't, honestly.
It was a totally different feeling.
It wasn't not because, first of all, because it wasn't really our space.
Right.
And you cannot really do whatever you want in there, You're kind of forced to talk with the owner, We want to do this, we should do that thing. But we want to be free, but you should do it, It was like, it was really,
yes, but
it wasn't really the same, but still, we had the opportunity to organize quite interesting projects, actually. So I'm still happy that we had the opportunity to do that,
I was still part of the experience and possible evolution. I mean, you never know, there will be a Magma number 2, maybe.
We're waiting for it.
Sooner or later.
Do you ever think about it? Do you ever think about...
Every fucking day, man.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I would love to do, but I would like to do it with Umbe, because we started together and I would like to go again with him. We have a very good relationship with him. I know him since many years, since the times in Beijing. And we had fun and we suffered together, me and him. So we really know each other very well. So the fact that Umbe now is not in Shenzhen, who knows, maybe he's coming back, it's kind of telling me that now is not the right moment to do it. But I'm thinking, actually.
I'm sure that...
Because,
I mean, you have a very good friendship. You're working together. I'm sure that even from distance, right now, Deus can work.
We are still continue to work with the design agency. Absolutely.
Myself as well. I work with people all over the world as creatives. We know we don't necessarily need to be in the same room to make things happen. So, but for sure, one probably interesting part of your future in the very next future is still on the music scene. I know there's some
I started actually a new project
going on.
Started a new project with a big friend of mine. I met in the first time in Beijing. It was like 2011.
Right.
David William K.
Okay.
Big friend of mine, and he moved to Shenzhen a couple of years ago with his family. And we started to talk about do a new project together.
You invited him also in Magma, no? Several
well,
times,
actually, it was still living in Hangzhou at that time.
Right.
And I was inviting him. I think I invited him a couple of times to play, and it was always like dope parties.
Of
Because
course,
when David is playing, as ectoplasm, it's like doing like a crazy party, right? And I invited him, and at that time, then he decided to move to Shenzhen, right? So we started to think about a new project, and it's now almost 1 year actually we are playing together. We didn't really do any concert, we didn't release anything yet, but I think it's gonna be soon.
Yeah.
The project is called Feardrop. You know David, right? Hey David,
Hey,
you're here.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
as if by magic.
Well, actually, I also work with Scarlett Johansson.
Please make her appear here too.
Bro, he only works one time a day.
God damn it.
You always forget that.
Mr. Chance, dude.
Yeah.
We'll call you next week then. I know. Right? Well, thanks for being here,
My pleasure.
David. I know you're also very busy, but we were talking about this new project you guys are doing together. I had the chance to see you performing in Magma as we were talking before. It's quite
With the lasers.
interesting and mesmerizing experience. I'm sure that a lot of our followers remember not only the nights at Magma, but especially your performances. Always been very catchy. You also moved to Shenzhen quite recently, 1 or 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, 2018. As Edo said, I was coming down to do some shows in Magma, and we were also thinking about leaving Hangzhou. We'd been there for 6 or 7 years, and from my experiences of Shenzhen coming down as a DJ, it seemed like a very cool city, with also a lot of judging on the parties we did together.
Right.
Maybe there's some potential. And I met some nice people, and
Very diverse audience as well. That's, I think, it's quite interesting.
yeah. So I was interested in that, and just nice to live by the sea. And Shenzhen is quite well known as being, quite a creative, new place. So I
Right.
thought, we'll give it a try.
It's true. It's true.
Been a good experience for you so far?
Yeah, it's been good. Really enjoying it. I mean, I have a family, so it's a little bit different from Edo's experience. But I think where I'm living in Chicago is a pretty good place to be as a family. There's a lot of facilities and playgrounds. And
Right.
you got the ocean. You don't have the beach there, but you got the boardwalk and just the general ambiance of living by the sea in a nice area with lots of schools, more choices for sending the kids to school.
Sheko is definitely very family oriented,
Yeah.
I would say, compared to
Yeah.
other areas of the city.
Yeah, that's where you'll find most of the expat families, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true. And you guys now are starting a new project together. Can we
Yeah.
call it a band, a duo, a project?
It's a band, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it is. We are a duo, but you can call it a band.
Yeah, just
Definitely, yeah.
when we were talking about the new project, then it's like whatever. Just want to
Right,
give it a
yeah.
Yeah,
It is.
project is a more catch-all term for it. I mean, because maybe we'll expand the lineup. We don't know
right.
in the future, but for sure, me and Ido now are beginning it, and we'll continue as a two-piece until things change.
What kind of music style or genre would you say it is?
Well, we're going back to more of a guitar-orientated music. I've been doing more like a synthesizer music for a while with different previous bands, and Edo's the Pet Conspiracy was more electronic as well. So you could say it's going back to a more guitar-orientated sound, but we still have elements from our previous bands as well, that we've picked up along the way.
Yeah, we both have a background when we were living in Europe that is really like rock, right?
Right.
And we are kind of going back to that kind of feeling. So when we write the songs, actually it's the way of writing a song like you are in the 60s. So it's really like classic rock songs, but with different elements, like a lot of. We're actually working with the drum drum machine right
Right.
now.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot of electronic stuff also because it's just me and you. We don't have a drummer, so we are just.
Integrating the.
The construction of the song is really rock and roll. That's
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
Is
I-
it acoustic, or electric, or?
A little bit of both, but generally the writing begins on an acoustic guitar, yeah, and then we, depending on the song, we flesh it out.
Right.
Sometimes with more electronic elements, or sometimes we just want to keep it very pure, very simple. It's kind of a little bit like come down music. It's
Okay.
kind of how I see it. Because me and Nido have been in China for a long time. We've had some extreme highs, and now, not that it's a low time now, but we're just focusing on a different emotional side of life. You know, not only in China but just generally, focusing on more on the darker side of life. I guess we still have moments of joy, of course, but yeah, that's kind of where the name comes from, Feardrops.
All right. All right. So you foresee more like in I'd say producing like albums and recorded stuff rather than gigs, or it would not be too much of a
We
difference.
have, I mean, for sure we are going out and play gigs very soon, I hope.
Yeah, that's what we.
But we
focus
were
on.
kind of focused actually to understand what we wanted to do this year, and it was more really experimenting actually. It's kind of a new challenge every time you play with a new band to understand what you want to do. Actually, yeah, there are already a lot of good ideas to bring to the band, and then we needed to decide how to bring these ideas
into practice.
into practice, right? And it was quite interesting actually the process that we had in the creativity way, because again, just two people playing, it's a challenge, and I'm quite satisfied actually about what we did till now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've recorded a lot of stuff. Now we're just focusing on bringing it to the stage.
Right.
How we can do that with two people, what equipment we're going to use, you know, because we still want to put on a good show and for people to have a good time.
Yeah.
You
know,
guys have plans for a location and date for a first show?
No,
Not really.
specifically,
Not really.
because you know Edo was away in Thailand for the large portion of the year, which kind of ate into our band schedule a little bit. But now he's back. We're back on track. I think we're going to try and do something interesting. We don't want to just do the same old thing.
Right. Right.
You know.
But actually, just to share, by the end of the year, we are planning on organizing I don't want to say it's just a party, like an event. There is a new space where it's open to a lot of opportunities. It's like a creative hub. We would like to do something in there where we mix some designers, speakers with a extended night time of
Music
drinks
and
and
DJs.
music, but inviting not just the DJ playing music, like
Right.
you know, creative people, even in terms of what is the people on stage. So maybe that's something that can happen
Then
rather
It'll
soon.
be, it'll be next month, December, if you guys are ready.
It
by
might be
then.
too early actually, not that ready yet to go live, but
I think 2021 we're gonna be
yeah.
It'll be the year.
we're gonna be getting active for
Right.
sure. And,
You guys plan to you guys want to release like an album first and then go live?
No, I think we're gonna try and do it a more old-fashioned way and just try and build up the buzz through live.
Right.
You know,
Okay.
and then because you know, if you play live, then people come to your shows and you meet people, you talk to people. I think it's really the best way.
Yeah.
And then you know, alongside that, we have to all of the different social media channels that we're gonna posting clips. We already started posting some clips of the
Yeah,
rehearsals.
some stuff on the WeChat moments.
Yeah, things like this, and we have the Instagram, and we'll open. I don't want to get too bogged down with all of this stuff. You know, it's then you end up spending
A lot of
more time on your socials than you
Yeah,
do making the music.
yeah.
Because
that's
you know
true.
that's a skill in itself, isn't it? The social media side of things, and
Yeah.
bands nowadays have to be pretty savvy with that. So we'll do a little bit of that, but yeah, we just really want to just enjoy playing music, and if we're happy with it, and we play and put on a good show, I'm sure that people will enjoy it too. So
Also, I think the advantage here in China on that level of socials and stuff, that, I mean, compared to if we were in Europe, where we see at Instagram and YouTube as a mean to reach the audience that doesn't know you yet, here it almost works the other way around. Your social are starting already from the people that know you and they are around you.
Yeah.
And actually here in China, we're talking about big numbers. Shenzhen is a city of 15 million inhabitants. So already you could start almost, as a anonymous person that already after one gig, because of these 200 people would like you, and all the people that are friends of those people that like you will see this. So the algorithm in China works in another way around. So it's definitely important, but the way it works, it will also lead to probably dedicate less time and think about a strategy behind it and whatever, but rather put spontaneously your content, your gigs, your work in progress, and the things would come up. This is another of the nice
Hopefully,
things in China.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, because I mean, there's no point in pushing something until you're completely happy with it,
Right.
and then hopefully things will develop naturally, rather than you can invite the KOLs to your gig to take the selfies during your performance, but really it's
it's
I don't want to
different-
be thinking
yeah,
about that. I would ideally someone else could deal with that, because
you just focus on what you
and of course I am aware of there's different ways to reach an audience, and we have to try and engage in some way. We're not Luddites, but I think come on, if you're the creative person, you're the person who's writing the songs, performing the songs, you don't have that much left over time to be thinking of the best hashtag, or to be thinking of like what kind of video you can post to which site, because the sites coming up here left, right and center. So yeah, we'll see about that, but hopefully we can get someone to so if there's anybody out there who is expert in
By the way, is anybody there?
there's an open opportunity for working on something cool. No,
social
we are
media
looking forward.
experts. Yeah.
We are looking forward. I see also that you guys are a bit geared up. Maybe
Definitely, we brought a guitar in here. Yes, a couple of guitars.
we want to try to do this. Also, first time for us trying to do something live. But if you don't mind, why not?
Well, yeah, we
If you
can
feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Well, we figured, if we're talking about music, we might as well play some music, right?
Yeah, I'm
That's what
excited.
musicians do, isn't
Just
it? So-
an unplugged version of our song, basically.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
tried just before arriving here, so I don't know if it's gonna be
No,
like
no,
great,
okay.
but yeah.
What's the name of the song?
don't talk it down. The song is actually called Feardrop.
All right.
So the band is Feardrops, the song is Feardrop.
Right.
So the band name is with the S and the song is with just drop.
Singular. Yeah. So hopefully you can hear the guitars.
And you guys both sing in the band?
I just sing in some parts. Mainly is David singing all the songs, because he is the main writer of this project.
Okay.
So he just usually come up with an idea with his acoustic guitar, and then we develop together the idea, right? But it usually comes, except for two songs that it was, right? It's coming from.
Yeah, because I'm writing a lot of songs all the time. So, but the good thing about finding a person you can collaborate with is that they can improve those songs, improve those ideas, and that's the kind of chemistry we have going. Usually I start with the song, and then Edo will go back and forth, and we'll make it better.
Right.
At least that's the aim.
Yeah. Nice.
I'm
Well, the
excited.
stage is yours.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. So this is Feardrop. Tell me what to do. Feel so far from you. Oceans drift apart. Can we just restart? Well, I guess you never opened my heart. Well, I guess you never opened my heart. Words between me and you, mountains falling from view. Life is not what it seems, things that come in a dream. Well, I guess you never opened your heart. Well, I guess you never opened your heart. 2, 3, 4. Tell me, how you gonna turn things around? Tell me, how you gonna outrun those hounds? Tell me, do you see those gathering clouds? Tell me, how you gonna change? How you gonna change your life? Tell me, how you gonna turn things around? Tell me, how you gonna outrun those hounds? Tell me, do you see those gathering clouds? Tell me, how you gonna change? How you gonna change your life? Tell me what to do. There's something in your life you're going through kills you. Will you walk away? Will you stick around another day? Life will make you pay for all the little things you do and say it's true. Will you walk away, slip into the cracks another day? Okay.
Wow.
Fantastic, dude.
Gave me goosebumps, man.
Oh,
Look.
yeah.
That was beautiful.
I'm not joking. Wow.
Thank you.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of the more like somber kind of songs we got going. But yeah, we like I said, we have like when we play live, we also want it to be a party.
Right.
And we have a bunch of tracks that are, you know, they have a lot of you can dance.
pushing more. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, it's good to have like the ups and the downs. Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Was
But
that the
this one is like have a lot of electronic elements. It's just an unplugged version, of course.
No, I can imagine. Man.
But yeah,
But also, I mean, it's very anyway musical. Despite also quite deep in the words and stuff, it gave me goosebumps, as I told you. But
yeah, this guy is good to write lyrics, man. Yeah.
Trying to dig deep, trying to, you know, trying to write words which have some meaning, you know,
Right.
because yeah, it's easy just to write anything that fits or rhymes, you know. So yeah, trying to write some good words.
yes. Oh, nice. I'm really looking forward for seeing all come
Yeah, man.
together,
Yeah, me
and
too.
hopefully also the very first gigs.
It better be in Shenzhen.
But I was about to
But
say.
it is-
I was about
The
to
first
say.
gig
man.
better
There
be
is
in
one thing
Shenzhen.
about Shenzhen that despite the fact that is growing a lot of the nightlife in Shenzhen, still for underground live venues, we are still lack. I mean, it's not many possibilities. Sure, there's a couple of clubs where you can play, but right, it's not.
Yeah, so like that's what, we're thinking about. Maybe we can, or we can do something that's set up by ourselves. Like you were mentioning, some other kind of events which are not just in a small bar. Like we don't want to do the small bar thing. We'd rather do like a
live house or an event. Or
live house is good. Like whole live we could do, but we'd also like to do like maybe I DJ a lot at Oil Club, for example. So why not take
over the venue?
Why not do this something in a venue like this with a big sound system?
Or even at you guys should come to the MPK I mentioned earlier. It's the first time I saw a hall. Like a music hall where you don't have a bit like hall, but actually where you can imagine there can be an indie band doing something on the stage.
It's a live house. I mean, it's small. I mean, but it's nice. I wouldn't say small, man. It can fit a lot of people.
How many people?
150.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
More, yeah.
Maybe more.
There's no tables and stuff, but yeah.
And it's an interesting place, man, because it's like when you just look at it, it's in a mall.
Yeah, well, that's the trend. I mean, clubs in malls
it's on the
is
rooftop of the mall.
It's still part of the mall, right?
Yeah.
And then you look at it, it's like a restaurant that sells
vinyls,
record players, and then like in these doors in the back, and isn't there there's you have to press a button on
and the gramophone starts playing music, and the gate
the doors
opens,
open
and suddenly you're in this black music hall.
Right.
like the speakeasy vibe.
Yeah,
there's a few of those in Shenzhen, like where you have like a secret door.
Yeah,
right?
where you press like the scooter button, the horn, or the convenience store door.
Yeah.
So this is like
cool.
hidden. Like there's like a door, and then I mean you see it's not like a hidden door. You see that it's a door, but in order to get
but
inside,
it's super geared up. I mean the sound system and stuff is like.
They got like a super urban stand.
But the sound system, the lights, it's all top.
I think that would be interesting since we don't have many clubs actually. They're providing like live venues. There are not many people providing like live venues, proper one. It would be interesting actually to play like in unusual places since we are in tour, right? The only thing is that I don't know if we can get the permission to do that. Just playing in a Xiao Mai Bu. Just go, just bring some equipment and do some shows like this,
Right.
Because we're not like a super huge band. It's just
we don't have the drum kit.
Just bring some equipment.
So it's easy.
You can really play basically everywhere, and I think that it could be an interesting thing to do.
Yeah, but Edo's right, because the thing in China is it's difficult to
getting the permission actually to do these kind of things is not that easy. That's the only.
You mean to be a performer or?
Actually, the main problem is the gathering of people in a place that is public.
And the sound issues, because you got a lot of residential. It's all like built on top of each other, so you're gonna have.
Yeah, this place has no residential around it.
Yeah, so this
right,
a
right.
little bit
Yeah.
like a hotel.
Yeah.
Like far away, but like.
But at least you already said the venue there. But if we would say, okay, let's do it on the rooftop of my office.
Like
this is what I was talking about.
People would be super cool, right? I mean,
Like
Yeah.
U2? Is that U2 who did
The
that?
only problem is that if it's a successful event, you're gonna see also some people you don't want to see show up.
exactly.
You know what? But there's a lot of places actually in Shenzhen talking about the rooftops, right?
And they would arrive
We
dressed
have
up,
actually
even though it was
beautiful
not a
rooftop in
theme
the place
party.
that we have in our studio, right? It's like it could be like amazing to do events. And I was thinking about it, and I was asking to the people that is managing this building, can we do a party? And then at the beginning they were like, yeah, let's do it. And then they started to talk about the problems. Did you get the permission to do that? We should close at this time. There is an hotel in there. I said, all right, okay, just start with this idea. But there's a lot of location that actually have this potential to be like a one-day location for a cool event. This is what I'm saying in Shenzhen.
Look, when the Beatles played their last ever show up on the roof, right?
Right.
The famous concert, and that was on the top of their record label, the Apple,
studio,
the building, and even they were shut down by the police. They were coming up to shut them down.
They totally got shut down. Like they didn't finish.
Well, they
the
just
set, or
no, they had to stop. They had to stop. The police were going to shut them down, and that's the Beatles in 1970,
cheap
1969.
as
So
well.
I mean,
Right.
you know, even
Yeah,
the
yeah,
biggest band
yeah,
in the
sure,
world will face
sure.
problems with the
Yeah.
law. So then, if you put a bunch of unknowns in China, where they're way more draconian with like volume and gathering situation, they don't want to do anything like that. You can imagine how difficult it can be.
Yeah.
So you could do something, but then you got to be ready to run, I suppose.
Right,
you
you
know.
need your escape plan.
Yeah, make sure the window has
The
good
cars
access to like a fire escape or something. The car,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
leave the
Cars with
engine running.
on and-
Yeah. So hopefully we can find something that's not dangerous, because we don't want to do anything that's breaking the law, but
No,
we want to
of
do
course,
something that's
It's
cool.
different.
Yeah.
Also, I think because
Yeah, what
it's a
I'm saying
way,
that is, it's again for this project, there's a lot of possibilities to play like in really unusual places. You know,
Yeah.
that's something. Also consider the fact that we don't have many places who can help us to play in here, because
Right.
honestly, guys, it's still
Yeah.
we don't have many places in Shenzhen. It's not very famous for live music, Shenzhen, honestly, right?
no.
There's some few places.
Again,
mostly
under there
don't-
is the very huge concert
Right,
situation where
right.
they call whatever it
That's-
was Maroon 5 or whatever, but not the in between. It's no.
Yeah. I mean, Magma would have been a good place to play.
Exactly. This is what we were doing actually. We
I
were
think-
doing a lot
I
of
mean,
live
you guys-
in
you guys
Magma.
have
You
packed
remember,
Magma
right?
Beyond, I mean,
Well, yeah.
Three per 3 meters stage, and still we could fit like a fucking drum, in there, and then let some people playing.
Right.
And they were like very interesting concerts, and we could fit maximum 60 people inside.
But
Was
you
like
were
a-
lucky you had also the
wait,
outside
60
environment.
was
people
big.
could fit in Magma?
Well, in the inside part, plus we were keeping the door open.
60 people inside Magma.
I would say something like that.
Oh, then the place that we were talking about, man, I'm thinking it'd be like hundreds of people.
I know there will be at least
No, yeah.
400 people in MPK.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
huge.
So,
man.
yeah, it's huge.
MBK.
MPK,
Okay.
Music Public Kingdom.
Like you know B10, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, yeah.
I would say like half the size of.
Oh,
It's
quite
larger
big,
than
quite
oil.
big. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
yeah.
since you were
Yeah.
talking about oil.
Yeah.
it's
Do they
larger.
organize some events already, or like
They
it's
started
like-
recently because Skis is the general manager there. He's also like a musician, hip hop, doing his own gigs
Okay.
and stuff. So he's trying to promote it and make it happen.
Yeah, I
but
think
it's
I
rather
think this
fresh.
week, next weekend there's a hip hop guy performing.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
But we should definitely, I mean, go.
We should go to check
and
it
have a
out,
drink,
yeah. Sure.
even maybe later or the other days. But it's nice, especially when you see also that from the perspective of what you can do in that place
Yeah.
as a performer, as a musician. Because when I entered there, I was like already thinking about how cool the party could be. Because usually in most of the places in Shenzhen, in China in general, except for very few underground like oil or stuff, you always see all the sofas and tables
Yeah.
all the way to the front and
Yeah,
everything
yeah,
occupied.
yeah,
And then
yeah,
if people
yeah,
are
yeah.
not there, it looks very stupid and empty. There you can really have a nice gig where
Okay.
people can jump around and.
Yeah, looking forward actually.
Plus,
to
you
check
know,
it out, yeah.
the stage is like 1 meter higher than the rest. It's like
It's
literally.
it's a proper live performance place.
It's
Yeah.
made for performing
It's in
live.
Futia?
Yeah, it's
Upper
Upper
Hills.
Hills.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll check it out. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, so hopefully there's gonna be possibilities for a gig in Shenzhen very soon. I think since it also started in Shenzhen, it would be nice.
Yeah, it has to
Yeah.
be in Shenzhen. I want to come.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's a weird question, but in terms of creating music, you reckon that there's something in Shenzhen that is also inspiring you or tickling something that it's funneled into your creation of content and music, or does it come
Should
from?
we say honestly? No.
Yeah, you should say honestly.
Yeah, I'm
But,
just wondering for. I don't
don't
know.
know if
Not
you have-
particularly Shenzhen, but like when I first came to China,
Maybe China.
I was like very
China.
inspired musically by the cityscapes. That's why I was making a lot of like synthwave music and getting more into this kind of vibe because it just
Right.
looked so cyberpunk and so Blade Runner. But this project is more inward looking.
Right.
I think that this project is really like summarize what we are as a musician, because I was really into. I mean, when I started to play with Pet Conspiracy, I started to play like electronic music. It was the very first time I was playing electronic music. I was like playing rock and roll before, I was fucking playing the guitar, rock and roll, you know. And this project actually gave us, I think both of us, the possibility to go back to what we were before without losing completely what we become, right? So we can take like, go back to our roots, but getting what we learn during our journey, right?
Yeah, and
Something like that.
and a lot of that stuff that goes into it is directly inspired by living in China, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much Shenzhen, because we'd already lived in China for like 6-7 years before we moved to Shenzhen. So I suppose we'd already like absorbed a lot and traveled around China. So the keg is pretty full of Chinese stuff. But when you come to Shenzhen, it's like it doesn't necessarily offer you anything new. Inspiration-wise, like you know, the cityscape looks similar to other cities around. I got the big buildings, the neon. So I already absorbed that. But I suppose having the ocean does like on my balcony, I can see right out to Hong Kong, you know.
Right.
And maybe that kind of having a larger vista to gaze upon, maybe it has mellowed me out a little bit, I think.
Right. Oh, I see. Well, as I said, we really look forward for the rest.
Do you guys have an encore song?
We don't.
I think you have it since once you start to play live, right? The encore song.
Yeah, we didn't.
Otherwise-
Well, you guys started tonight already playing live for an audience.
No, well, the reason why we played this song, it's because it was the song that we played last time we met. It was like we recorded some stuff, you know. We had already the guitars that we were tuning like this. And we said, we just play that one. But it's, I guess it's kind of an encore song because
No, I mean,
it takes the same name of the band.
Hey, that's quite something, of course.
It is, but...
I meant, do you guys have like an encore song for today?
you were saying for today, I'm sorry.
Yeah, like
Alright.
is there like a second song?
But we would need to tune again all the guitars because there is a special tuning for this song.
Yeah,
So
it would take a while because it's like an open tuning for this guitar, and I think there's only this song that we play in this tuning.
Don't worry.
So
We don't have the tuner to tune the stuff.
yeah.
It's
It's just a one-shot deal, guys.
Okay, it's already
So
enough.
we have to wait for it. I'm hungry for more.
Shady is never enough, you know, whether it's
No.
food, beers, or songs, it's like you can go on all night, you know. But
Well,
That gets me started.
I'm glad you want to hear more. So yeah,
That's great,
maybe
man.
next time.
It's really nice.
Thank you.
I showed you, I mean, it really gave me goosebumps. I loved it.
Yeah,
Cool.
thanks guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I wish you all the best luck. For all of those who are following us, in the descriptions and stuff, we will share also your socials and stuff to
Thanks, man. Yeah.
follow you guys.
Sure.
Of course, this
Also
thing.
follow your YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
Which I
Right.
love.
Yeah, give that a shout out. That'd be great.
I like I just watched the one you went to the zoo.
Yeah.
And you give like the disclaimer for all the animal lovers to not fuck with you in
Really?
the comments.
Well, you know, when my wife like came up with the idea because we're going to the zoo, like, okay, we make a video about the zoo, and I was like, that's like tricky territory right there. You're gonna get everyone coming out of the woodwork.
Just say like, fuck, these animals are not mistreated and abused.
Yeah, because people don't like zoos. I get it, but guys, I got kids. I go to the zoo. All right.
Yeah, that was nice. Man.
Yeah, right.
Wait, what am I gonna do?
Easy as that.
Yeah.
So yeah, but luckily no one was too offended by it. So
No, it was a fun
Yeah.
video, and I like the style too. Like, it's like VHS, 80s.
yeah,
You're a very 80s kind of guy.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I
just-
love it. Yeah.
You're stuck in the 80s a little bit.
Yeah, but with this project, I'm kind of shedding my.
You're breaking free.
I'm breaking free of the
Going to
80s
the 90s.
cube that I've boxed myself in. Maybe going into the 90s or back to the 60s.
Oh, back to the 60s.
Or back
Yeah.
to the 60s.
Yeah.
I would say it was quite reminding me of back.
We both like a lot, you know,
Yeah,
the
all
60s.
decades, 60s, 70s. I
Right.
mean, I just zeroed in on the 80s, especially for DJing.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
but when it comes to playing the guitar, I think we have a lot of folk and influences and acoustic influences and rock influences. So drawing on all decades, you know.
Yeah.
We don't want to close ourselves off. I hate the question like, what kind of genre are you? What kind of, like, it's really difficult. I don't know.
To
You just pick up the guitar and play, and what comes out comes out. I'm not you're never thinking about what genre you are, and that's another thing about social media. You have to
Just
give
comes
yourself.
after. It's like
You have to give yourself a
How to
tag. You
market
have to know.
yourself.
And it's like, I don't know, guys. I'm just picking up the guitar and it just comes out. I don't know what it is. Like,
But
it's
especially in
just-
this project, honestly,
Yeah,
because there's some projects that we had. They are more like electro. It's more punk. It's more. This project is really something we didn't think
it's
when we started
right?
what kind of genre we needed to do it, and it just come out like that, right? So it's really it's impossible to define actually an exact.
Yeah, because we have some songs which are like more 80s. We have some songs with the synthesizer arpeggios going. We have some songs which are just like very mellow and acoustic, and we have some songs which got two electric guitars and more rocking and more heavy. So we always look at people like Beck, for example, who is doing mellow acoustic stuff.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, and he's doing funk, he's doing rock, he's doing rap. I mean, what genre is that? Okay, you can call it alternative, I suppose.
I guess that's it. Yeah.
I mean, really, who cares about that genre?
But then we should do like 1 hour talking about the what is alternative, right?
Yeah, exactly.
that opens up
It's like
very
I think everything is.
very broad.
You just call it alternative when you really don't know.
Yeah, right.
When you cannot
Exactly.
really tell what
Beautiful
you're doing.
terms. It's a catch-all term for anything that you
What
smash.
doesn't
It's not
fit.
punk, not heavy rock, not. I mean, it'd be easier if you
Or
were in
indie. It's indie.
Indie's a bit like that as well.
Oh, indie is-
Alternative
it's the
indie
same.
is even the best.
I play indie. What the fuck is that indie?
No money.
Till you become famous and then you call it indie. It's not
Well,
indie
even
anymore.
well, growing up, right? There was very set kind of music genres when we were growing up.
Yeah, because you had the
You know.
record store, so you have to look in the different
Right,
genres.
right.
But now, like, there's like so many fucking like little tiny
Yeah.
genres. There's,
Cloud
like,
rap,
yeah,
sea punk.
math rock,
Yeah,
math something.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
so many different like
Super
I don't know.
specific.
for different kinds
Yeah.
of
How
rock.
can you
know?
possibly know?
It's
Like,
ridiculous.
That's just for someone else to decide. I don't know.
You know?
But then you're
Yeah,
always
I-
expected to do it yourself, and this is what I don't like about this kind of.
Maybe it's our problem. Maybe we are too old. So I don't understand this.
Well, maybe for sure the
It's
newer
all this-
generation, I guess they have the feeling of having to do something different, to have the feeling of standing out, and then even when you get stuck into the
there
funnel of
was-
the genre,
but-
you try to make
But
it up.
fewer, for sure,
Yeah.
fewer. Rock, metal, death metal. This kind of,
Well, it's just like what he's
Few
saying.
The basics.
You go to the
Now they
record
got
store.
really a
and
lot
there's
of
the-
different.
But it's like colors.
It's a
The
group.
rainbow has 7 colors. Then you can go deep into all the Pantone names, whatever.
Yeah.
There's 17
No,
different
but
kinds
also
of
that
red.
time,
but-
actually, if I think even metal had a lot of different. That metal, grind metal, is kind of.
Yeah, because I also just think it's kind of trendy to just invent some
Right.
Some new
genre out of your butt, and ultimately it's just passing trends. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I'd be interested to see what genre we get put into on the various apps where you upload your music.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that. But I have a feeling it will be rock/pop, right?
Right.
Or whatever. Like what's Bowie? What's Gary Newman? What's what?
Exactly,
Who cares?
yes.
It's just music and probably rock, right?
I would say pop.
Yeah.
It's pop music. Really, it's
You guys
pop.
should start S-pop for like Shenzhen pop.
Rock/pop. Come si dice lei, rock/pop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
but who
something
cares
like
at the
that.
end?
I don't know.
I understand. I mean, they're putting a lot of your own into this creation, right? So it's like the result is.
Yeah,
beyond
yeah.
anything
I don't
else.
really
Absolutely.
think that generally talking, it's like the musician. They decide what. Unless it's someone that is following a path, a very precise path. It's not a musician that you should say what kind of music you're playing, but it's other people that should say, okay, you
Exactly,
play that kind
yes.
of music. I mean, you're free to say whatever you want. We just continue to do our own stuff.
You just play it anyway. It doesn't matter.
That's the thing. You know, it's.
Someone needs to put it on a label or on a flyer one day, and they will need to come up with it. But it's not your business. at the
Right.
end. It's like- no, totally agree.
All right, gentlemen. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise, thank you for having us. Good luck
Thank
with the
you.
Looking
podcast.
forward to
everyone.
the live show. Looking forward to the music video.
Yep.
Yes.
Looking forward to having you guys back.
Looking forward to the genre.
Yeah,
Classification.
We will come up with it soon after the first gig.
I'm gonna start some rumors tonight. New jazz band in Shenzhen.
Yes.
I thought you said like sour. Like you said something, but when you said it, it sounded like sour. I quite like sour rock or something like that.
It could work.
Sour. Something
Well,
like
yeah,
sour.
could work.
You know,
Yeah,
this is
I
kind of
don't
like,
like
you
it.
know, come down, kind of like not jumping around, being all happy. So maybe something with sour is good.
Could be. Yeah.
Yes, why not?
Anyway.
Okay, sour rock is a new genre that we,
Yeah,
we
sour
just
rock.
invented
Sour
right
rock
now, right?
band.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
All right, guys. Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Peace, guys.
Please keep on following us and like our podcast and find all the information from our guest in the description below. And hopefully we will see you very soon in here or around Shenzhen.
Definitely. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
It's been a pleasure.
Cheers, guys.
Bye bye.